Hey, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems, and I am in St. Louis, Missouri. And do not be misled by how calm and serene it looks outside, because I'm in the middle of this polar vortex that is sweeping through the Midwest of the United States and central Canada. It is cold, and a real study in contrast, because yesterday I was in Florida, tomorrow I'll be in California. And I'll tell you, for a Canadian to say it's cold outside, it's cold. And you might already know this, but to measure temperature in Canada, we use Celsius, whereas America uses Fahrenheit. And there's an interesting formula you can use in the summer to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit. You double Celsius and add 30, which means if it's 20 Celsius in Canada, that means it's 70 in Fahrenheit. But when you work into the negative, that formula does not apply. And in fact, it converges. Minus 40 in Celsius is minus 40 in Fahrenheit. And if you've ever experienced that, you know that when you're in minus 40, especially with the wind chill, you can inhale and your nostrils will freeze together. And you can throw a pail of water in the air and it'll freeze in the air before it touches the ground. That's cold. So it's interesting, speaking of the contrast principle, I'm talking to our clients, fee-for-service professionals, all the time about ensuring that you're not taken for granted based on familiarity, the abstract nature of your value, the external dependencies, the perceived transactions, all the commoditization. And this was especially amplified in a conversation I had with a trust advisor. Now think about this. He manages money, but he's also managing his business, and he's really managing clients. You think about an estate, and that money has been provided for heirs, but the trust advisor has to ensure that the heirs are, getting their marks in school and staying out of trouble. It's complicated. And then, of course, you throw in the institutions and the nonprofits. The political minefields are incredible. And so he gets compensated as a fee-for-service professional based on managing the money, but everything else he does, and it's extensive, is value-added. But do the clients really actually value those qualities and skills and intentions? Sometimes it's taken for granted. And sometimes no good deed goes unpunished. I mean, the lengths that he goes out of his way, and there's a little bit of frustration where that is taken for granted. So I want you to take all of your value-added services and give them a placeholder, which means when you onboard a client or when you reframe a relationship and rejuvenate how you are appreciated and perceived and described, it is defined. And we have a video, it's 8 minutes long. It's called 7 Pillars, 1 Process. And it helps you expand your thinking yourself, but also help people reimagine your value so that you're not taken for granted. And it's interesting. Some clients depart their fee-for-service professional. They think the grass is greener on the other side, and then they call back 6 months later saying it's not better. In fact, this was a totally anticlimactic experience, and I wonder if you would take me back. I'd like you to get ahead of that and make sure that you don't have to try to restore that relationship, even though sometimes there's merit there. I was reminded of this on a personal level at home. So my wife runs our household like a Swiss watch, makes it look easy. And, sometimes that's easy to take for granted. And recently she was gone for a week. She was taking care of some family matters back in her hometown. And I've got 2 teenage sons, 2 dogs, and that house does not run itself. But that was really brought to the front and center when she was not there. And I just want to make sure that your clients don't appreciate you fully when they're former clients by virtue of contrast. So request that 7 Pillars, 1 Process video from us. Just send us an email, see us on LinkedIn, and just give some consideration to how the contrast principle can serve you rather than hurt you. Okay, so thanks for watching. This is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. Make it a great day and stay warm. Bye for now.